Are we alive?
Now we're live.
We're
We're
live. Hey,
live.
y'all.
Live. Superior Notary Crew here. Today is Thursday, January 19th in beautiful something or another Florida. Because we're in three different places and our phones are dinging.
My phone's
Welcome
upstairs.
everyone to another episode of the Superior Notary Crew. As the topic states, we're going to be talking about some Ron stuff, some marketing tips, some business tips. We took some polls about what you wanted to talk about. And so we're going to talk about those things. But a little housekeeping first. First comes first. We have decided to do this show every other week. So you will not see us next week, but you will see us on the next Thursday. What date would that be, guys? Next Thursday is the 26th. So you will see us on February 2nd. So this is the last episode of January. You will see us for the very first week in February. So catch us back on February 2nd. We decided to go every other week because we's tired. Like, Virgil, are you frozen? Okay, no, you're not frozen now. But if you guys don't recall, all three of us work full-time jobs as well as run a part-time notary business, part-time to full-time notary business. And so we run out of things to talk about, and some weeks we're just tired. So that's that. Hello to Phoenix Soul. Hello, thank you for watching. So let's jump into it. I'm going to talk about Ron first because I do Ron predominantly. Bergeau also does Ron, but she's the general notary queen. Reggie's the wedding king, and I am the Ron queen. So give me my own specialty. So we'll talk a little bit about Ron and what Ron is. Ron is remote online notarization. Okay. And if you are a commissioned notary in the state of Florida, then you can take an extra course and pay an extra application fee to the state of Florida to become a Ron notary or a remote online notary. You do also have to bump up your bond to 25,000. And I mentioned you have to take the class and you have to fill out an application and submit that to the state of Florida. So it's a separate licensing that you have to go through in order to become a remote online notary. And once you become a remote online notary, you have a couple of options as far as working. Well, yeah, you have a couple of options. The first option is you can get with a platform that gives you customers. Those platforms include one that shall remain nameless because then I can't get work on it. Number two, that would be Notarize. And number three, Blue Notary, because you won't get one on Blue Notary. But on Notarize, that's the most popular platform that people gravitate to in order to get business. The second way that you run your business as a Ron is through direct customers. And we're going to talk about marketing because marketing plays a big role in getting direct clients. And I would say personally that consistency is the key when it comes to growing your business. Consistency in quality, consistency in answering your phone, consistency in reaching out to people outside of your network or outside of you, your space, right? Outside of your office, outside of your room. It does take consistency with that as well. And it does also take consistency with using the platforms because every platform is just a little bit different. And I think that especially for onboarding purposes, you want to know that platform inside and out, or to the best of your ability. You want to know the platform. So that's what Ron is in a nutshell. And I have had much success in 2022 and the beginning of 2023. So far, I've made almost $600 in just Rons. And The fees range anywhere from $40 to $150, $175. Sometimes I get $200. One time I got a $500 one. Remember that one, y'all?
Must be nice.
$500 one. So the money is there to be made. It's just a matter of like I said, consistency and where you put your focus. I have decided to put my focus primarily on remote online notarization. And while I still do take other clients from other areas of notary, that is what I predominantly like to focus on. Like I got a call today from was it Loan Closers? I probably shouldn't say their name, but anywho, I got a call today from them, and they wanted to offer me a reverse mortgage for 70, was it $75? I said no, thank you, no thanks. On a weekday at 7 p.m. a reverse mortgage.
Ooh, I would have did it
for $75.
No, I probably would have,
Go ahead.
You're right.
Go ahead. Somebody said it's nice, and J.K. Wyatt says, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. So that's Ron in a nutshell. So I'm going to say, post your questions in the chat, and we'll answer your questions as we go along. And let's jump into marketing, because I think marketing is going to be the key to everything we're doing. So let's see. Berjo, you start out on the marketing.
So everyone wants to know how to market. Well, first of all, you have to do it. Marketing is you can't just, like Ayana said, just put it out there, say, hey, I'm a notary, and then a month later say it again. Like, no, you have to be consistently in front of people's faces because you want to be top of mind. So the most important thing is to let people know what you do. Another good strategy is to not bombard people with just sell. I want your business. I want your business. No, you want to come at them like, look, I know that you have this type of service and notary complements the service. How can we help each other? That is how you want to come at it. You want to be a support, and you want to give value to the services they already provide, because that's really what people want. People need to have customers that want to come back to them. So how can you make that possible? Okay, like they're already doing a good job, but you can make it a great job if you offer your services, right? That's how you want to come at them. Many times notaries are, saying, well, it's just so saturated. It's so many notaries, too many. There is a lot of people who are commissioned as a notary, but you do not have a lot of good notaries out there. So I've heard some terrible stories. I go to networking events. I did heavily last year, have not went to any this year, but it's just January.
Still early.
Right. So a lot of people they have horror stories about notaries. So, are you the notary that you want? Are you the notary that they can put on their preferred list? Okay, let's ask you that question. Yep. Another thing is post on the local platforms, guys. If you're just solely focusing on Facebook and Instagram, you are not going to get no business. You're not. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you join, maybe your neighborhood group or something like that, yeah. But honestly, people are not going to Facebook or Instagram to look for a notary first. Okay? They're going to Google. They're going to Apple Maps, which is Yelp. They're going to Nextdoor, which is their actual community app. Some people are really active in that app. They're going to Bing, because a lot of people still use Yahoo, and Bing is the search engine for Yahoo. That's where you want to advertise your services, okay? And another good thing is to, I forget the name of the website. You want to post about things that people are talking about when it comes to notary. Keywords, hashtags, that is how you're going to get the business, okay? That's how you're going to pop up at the top of the search when people are searching for a notary in their area. You want to heavily focus on your area. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, that is too wide, too broad of a space for you to be advertising your services locally. Okay, so that is the tip that I would. Oh, and one last thing. Marketing is great to get business, but how you keep business is being prepared for the phone call after you market. Okay, so you're out here, you're marketing, you're throwing it out there, you get a phone call, you freeze. So if you want to get business, I suggest before you start marketing, work on being prepared for the phone call. That's all I got.
And I wanted to add as well to start right where you live, like start right outside your door. Start with your neighbors, start in your community, start with your schools, your hospitals. The title companies are near you. I've been to all the title companies near me. Now, granted, I haven't had any business from them, but I walked in. Like I walked in, and actually, I'm going to walk in again. Now that I'm doing Ron, I plan on walking in again soon. But you want to start right where you live, right in your community, and stop trying to look like Bergeau said, casting this wide net for the whole wide world to see, for people to see who don't even live where you live.
Right.
Start with where you live. I've gotten plenty of clients or notary clients right in my community. Bergeau puts a sign outside of her door, and her neighbor comes right on over and knocks on the door.
Had a person ride down the street and
roll by and saw Notary Public on her door, got out and knocked on it. She had another client. So
yeah, I was going to say, let me add,
yeah,
I was not doing that to get customers. I was doing it because when I have a customer coming, I want them to know that they're in the right place. But I just happen to get an extra customer.
Exactly. But I mean, it worked, it worked. Yeah. And you start right in your own community. And like she said, the Nextdoor app and your Facebook groups, like for your local communities, are great places to start. Another thing that I've done is I've dropped business cards. And that's another thing before I say, I'll say that after I say this, but I've dropped business cards at locations that I just drive by. You go to what's that place called? Planet Smoothie, Whole Foods, Chinese restaurants. You look in there, you look around, and there's people's cards, right there on tables and shelves. Leave your cards too. Leave your cards there too. A lot of people buy business cards and do nothing with them. You have a stack of business cards that's just sitting in your house. You never pass them out. Give them suckers away. Like I take stacks of cards and leave them in my car. And when I go somewhere, I take the whole dang stack and just leave it somewhere. I leave it somewhere. And that way you are marketing right where you live. Let's see. We got a question already. Ayana, are there marketing tips you use to sell your Ron services that are different than mobile notary services? Nope. No, they're all the same. When I get a client that calls me on the phone for a mobile notary service, I quote unquote upsell them to Ron. I had that happen. I woke up early on a Saturday morning. Somebody's ringing my phone. It's like 8:30 a.m. I answer the phone. He's like, I need a notarization. Can you come? I live in where you live, can you come? And I said, can we do it online? Is this a document that we can do online? Like, what type of document is it? And when he told me it was like for contracting, like, that kind of thing, construction, I'm like, we can do that online. Like, I don't have to come to your house. Like, we can do it online. Oh, how does that work? I explained how it works. Boom, we were on top of it. Gave him a price. I had him done like within the hour before I didn't even get dressed. All I had to do was put a shirt on and a bra. And then,
you know what, Ayana, another thing to add to what you're saying, educate yourself on your services before you offer them.
That's true too. That's true, because 9 times out of 10, especially when you do a Ron, a lot of people are not familiar yet. And they're not convinced that they can use it. And in the state of Florida, Ron is completely 100% legal and can be used in courts, county clerks, deeds can be notarized. online. Jury's still out on mortgages, but I know for sure a deed. If a deed has to be recorded, so does a mortgage. So I'm sure if a deed can be recorded electronically, a mortgage can too. So in the state of Florida, RON is widely accepted, and there's no reason why anybody would not be able to accept that document, except for their own personal reasons. Some attorneys aren't there yet. That's old school. If they don't want to take it, then don't force them. You know, I don't force them. If you don't want to take it, then that's fine. But yeah, it's really all about consistency, and what you're doing for mobile notary services can translate into RON. And when they ask me what it is, I can rattle it off right then and there, the entire process. And with that being said, I'll tell you a story. There was one of these groups, these notary groups, that I don't belong to very many of them anymore, but one of these big notary groups, a young lady posted in there, how does the RON notarization work? And she is a notary, but she's not a RON. And everybody chimed in, call me now. DM me, I'll tell you. DM me. I simply responded with how it works. She DM'd me and said, I really like how you explained it. This is what I'm doing. I like to use you. I've been using that girl. That girl's been using me ever since. I think we're going on 6 or 7 months now, at least 6 months that I've been working for her exclusively. And it's really a matter of making sure you are getting yourself in front of people. And like Bergeau said, you got to be ready. You cannot freeze up. No. You can't freeze. And let me tell you, there's a lot of times where one of us will get a service that we can't do, and we'll leverage one of y'all, and we get people that's like, oh, but I ain't never did it before. Exactly. I don't know what to do. Yes. You cannot freeze. When you get an opportunity, you have to take each and every one. When you're first starting out, you don't have any leeway to turn down a signing, right? Mm-hmm. When we all first started, we were signing wherever. I was driving hours up north, hour and a half, the old Cadillac, coming back, all times of night. I didn't have the leverage to say no. But now, now that I've built a business that I'm comfortable with, now I can do that. And so you have to definitely make sure you are getting yourself. Google Business Profile is probably going to be one of your best friends. Building that. Ooh, speaking of which, I got to get my email.
And let me tell you, when you build your business, people want to work with you. Okay? When you have that reputation behind you. For example, I had someone call me for a signing for today. I've never worked with them before. He called me, asked me if I was available. He quoted me the price. I said, no, can you do higher? And instead of him saying, okay, well, never mind, he said, yes, we can. Yes, we will. No problem. Send me the information.
Right. And because just like what I had, they said no. They were going to say no. And if they say no, it's up to me to say whether or not I want to do it. And if I don't want to do it, I just, But doctor's offices, that's another good place to leave your business cards and to even talk to them. Sometimes they have clients that need notarization. So yeah, definitely. Reggie, what you got for marketing?
So, along the same lines that you guys are speaking, not only is it good to have those platforms, it is also an imperative that you make sure that you take the time to actually post to it, to show that you're a real business. Because when you create the platform, that's just a landing page, or not platform, but Google Business to be more specific, and you don't post, it makes people leery about your particular business.
Yeah. Yep.
So you really have to get in the habit of making sure that you post on there pretty regularly, especially in my business, in being a part of the wedding part of it. People want to see what you've done already. So number one, you want to get the consent of the customer to make sure that they're okay with you posting your picture. And then number two, use that to your advantage in your marketing. Bergeau has beat in our heads making sure that we plan our social media. Plan your social media. Plan it. Because it gives you so much more time back in your day to be able to do the mundane things like changing your prices on your website or being free to answer those phone calls when they come. Okay. So that's one particular thing. You definitely, I agree with you. You definitely want to make sure that you research the products that you are selling before you post on there, because you might be called to the carpet to do an apostille because your website said it, and you ain't never done one. Now you calling Virgil or Ayana to answer those questions because because you put yourself in a place that you might not be comfortable with. And it's okay. I will say, for anybody who feels like I need to research sometimes, okay, research is great. Yes. When it comes to doing what you do need to research. But don't let that fear you into not moving towards the goal of becoming a bona fide business, as Ayana said on her YouTube video earlier today. So, yeah, I definitely, in doing, taking part of situations like this that we do, selflessly, this is good to keep, an ongoing topic at the end of the day, so you can have a frame of reference. I was thinking this earlier. We are real people who have real full-time jobs being notaries. And we're not going to, a lot of people, like some of the bigger ones, will give you that line of 6 figures, but they don't take the time to explain what you got to do to get there. And the biggest part of it is making yourself marketable to where people will want to use you in the future.
Yep. We got a question here. I bought your calculator for the mileage. Woo-hoo, but I'm a little confused. Do I tell the customer I'll call you back to give the price? My answer is absolutely, positively, hell to the no.
No.
Don't let them off the phone until you give them a price and you get them booked at all costs. You want to do everything that you're doing with them on the phone the first time. I'm under the firm belief, as a former salesperson, that if you let them off the phone, the sale is gone.
Somebody else.
It's gone.
It's difficult to recover.
You missed the call and it goes to voicemail. I had that happen just yesterday. They got somebody else. So no, when they call you, a lot of times I have Google Sheets on as an app. You have to have the Google Sheets app on your phone in order to edit the calculator. Put that on your phone. If I'm not by my computer, I will whip my phone out and be fumbling and putting it in there, doing whatever I have to do to give them a price. Or if I'm here, I just run right to my computer, like, hold on, I'll give you, hold on. Because they're going to ask you, how much is it? And I'm just saying, okay, let me get that for you. And I come sit right down and get the price and give it to them right then and there. And let them decide. If you let them off the phone talking about, I'm going to call you back, they're going to call somebody else. So no, give them the price while they're on the phone and and the very next question after you give them the price is, what day and time did you want to schedule it? It's called closing the sale. Closing the sale. What day and time did you
for the business?
Asking for the sale, asking for the business. That's exactly it. When you work in sales, at any point in your life, those lessons always stick with you. And the first thing they teach you is how to close the sale and ask for the business. So you always want to say, oh, well, what time so the price is $40. When do you want to book that? Or what day are you available to get this on the schedule? So that's my tip for that. All right. Next one.
If you have a business, you are in sales.
Facts.
Yes.
Always.
You're selling yourself.
I'm not selling a product. You are in
selling
sales.
You.
Yep.
All right. Are you guys getting Ron loan signings from signing services or getting them direct, Google or Yep? All of them.
Yes.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I've had signing companies. I just had one today reach out to me for a Ron. I couldn't get it done because they only wanted to use Notarize, but Yes, all of them, all of the above. And so it's always, like we say, it's always best to have yourself out there, have your business out there. Make sure your signing order profile is up to date. Make sure, you know, your SnapDocs profile, make sure all those things are up to date. And they mention that you do Ron, because Ron is becoming more popular and they're starting to look for those types of notaries. All right, here's another one. Do you have any tips on building a Google profile without disclosing my home address? I'm mobile only and I feel a bit restricted without the exact street address in Google Business. I'll let you go, Berjo. Or yeah, whoever wants to take it.
I do not have my address listed on my Google Business page. I have my counties that I cover listed. And then just recently I changed the counties to put cities because some of the cities that were calling me were really far. And I didn't realize that the counties that I cover spread out so far. So I just have the cities listed. When you go on there to create your profile, it's going to ask for your address to send you the postcard to verify you. But
Right.
there is an option where you will put there, you don't want your address listed locally. Publicly.
Mhm.
Now, there's a kicker to that. Once you put there that you do not want your address listed publicly, you can't change it back. Because I tried to add my address on there and it kicked back. So luckily, I show up at the top of Google anyway because I've gotten a lot of hits on my page, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But you do not have to list your address publicly.
Yeah, you don't have to list it publicly. Another good idea is Anytime Mailbox.
Mhm.
It's a virtual mailbox. Check it's Anytime Mailbox, I think .com.
Yeah.
It's a virtual mailbox where they will give you an address and a box number, and it'll correlate or correspond to like a what?
You don't want to put that as your Google.
I'm just saying, and I'm saying you can use that though for your well, see, my Anytime mailbox was on my street, on the street, and in my zip code. So I could put that as my Google address and it would still hit me right where I live because it's literally less than 3 miles from my house. So
the reason I said that is because where my Anytime mailbox is an actual Pack Mail center.
Yeah.
Pack Mail offers notary. Pack Mail is taking my customers.
Yeah, they do offer notary services, but I have that in my Google Business profile, but it's not shown. It just shows where I am.
Mine was shown publicly because I thought, me listing an address would make my page, more, it will show up more. So people were going to that address and waiting in line thinking that they're getting services from me, but they're not. So I had to change it.
I use my mailbox because I transitioned from virtual mailbox to the actual PostNet location. And I've never had anybody go there. I've never had anybody call me and say, I went there and you wasn't there. I use that on my website because I'm not.
No, I use it. Yeah, I use it for my mailing address. But what I'm saying is, if you get an Anytime mailbox, do not list the address for that mailbox so that on your Google page so that you can quote unquote get to the top, because you'll be sending that location your customers because they're going to see notary on the window and they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, no, don't do it. Just
I have it listed as my website address. It's not because I'm not putting my main number on there. But
yeah, no, my address, my mailbox address is everywhere else.
What I was gonna say was with the not wanting to put your address out there, that is an option for you. But on the Google Business profile, your address does not have to be listed. My address is not listed on my Google Business profile, only my phone number, my website, and that's it. I think my email might be listed there, but only my address and my website.
And I did the same thing that Ayana did. My address is my PO box or my mailbox. I hadn't had that happen where someone has reached out to me and went to that location specifically. It's always been a call or conversation prior to.
Yeah.
But these are just different ways to ultimately, because maybe one day you might get that brick and mortar location, and then you can put that up.
Yep.
So.
Somebody said, Facebook user, new to the group, what calculator are we talking about? We are talking about the notary calculator. What did I call it? The notary calculator. That is not on. Oh, there it is. It's my notary fee calculator. And you can find it on my website, which I'll type it into the chat. It's ayanalugo.com. If you go to the store, you will be able to purchase it there. It allows you to calculate your notary fees for many of the services: mobile, online, wedding, apostille, and it calculates the mileage. It does calculate round trip, so you don't have to make it round trip. It does calculate round trip, as well as it factors in what's always missing is your time and expertise. So that was mainly why I created it, and it has been working fantastic. And somebody said, thanks for coming up with that. You are welcome. And Sarah says, thanks for all the input. You are welcome too. All right, here's another one. Do you use Blue Notary platform for Ron? And if so, what do you think of it? Free or paid account?
No, we do not.
No, we do not endorse. No, we do not use Blue Notary. I think out of the group, I have used it the most, and I had very high hopes for it. Very high hopes. I did pay for a subscription that I recently canceled. And like I said, I had very high hopes for that platform. In the beginning, it was working out really well. And then they started tweaking and making changes. And now it's just not something that I'm interested in using. In the state of Florida, I don't know where you are, CTAP, but in the state of Florida, we are able to bypass KBA and use biometrics in order to ID our signers. And what that means is that they can upload a copy of their ID and they take a selfie. The platform will compare that selfie to the ID and verify that it is a match. And then from that, on that end, we get to see the ID on our end. We can verify that it is a match, and then we can proceed to do the notary. So you're in Florida. Okay. Yeah. So for that reason, Blue Notary was working out for me very well in the very beginning, but they took away the option to do that ahead of time. And so I moved on. So the platform we all use predominantly is eNotaryLog. You pay as you go. You sign up as an independent notary. You pay as you go. It's $13 for the initial session, and then $5 per each additional signer and or witness. And that has been working out for all of us just fine.
Very, very good.
and not
but
only
it is a bring your customer only platform. They do not give you customers. Right.
Yep. But you do have the flexibility if you have clients with only one computer or one way to access the session. They can use the same machine, the same phone, the same computer. They get a different PIN number in order to do the signing. So I like that part too. And so we got the plug on the inside who works there. So any of our technical issues, we got a plug. And so we have been working just fine with eNotaryLog. That's the one that we use. So yeah.
And we
Reggie.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you had some other questions in your poll. What other questions?
Yeah, what I was going to say to kind of round out what you're saying too is the platforms that you use, you want to make sure you learn them. Ayana and Berjo in the very beginning, they actually did a mock notarization initially on a few of those platforms. so they can explain it to their customer whenever they brought them to the platform, because that is one of the things, not to pull out any pain points, that's one of the things that can be a little bit of a headache when you don't know the platform and you're having somebody get on that platform for the first time and you pulling your brain out. And that really can make a 15-minute notarization take an hour.
Yeah.
So it's good to kind of get to know them. There's many you can use, but get that one. Like we were saying, eNotary Log has been the absolute best. Even with my very limited access and what I've done in Ron in the last couple months, it is the easiest. So I still have questions from time to time, and I ask both of these guys. But I feel most comfortable using that one. So some of the questions, shout out to a few of these people.
Wait, we got another question before you do that.
Okay, go ahead.
On eNotary Log, what if you need a witness? How do you add one? Do they have witnesses you can connect to? You have to bring your own witness. I don't think they have where you can, not like Blue Notary where you
Notary Log is strictly for independent notaries. They don't give you anything but the platform.
Facts. That's it. Yeah. And I was gonna add on to what you said, Reggie, about learning the platform. I think Bergeau had the tour of the platform. Didn't you talk to the guy? I did not. I went by what Bergeau said and just jumped in. And like Reggie said, there is a learning curve sometimes to the most of the stuff looks the same. It's just a matter of where did the platform put it? That you can tag, text and signature and all that stuff. It's just a matter of where do they put that and how do you find it? So if you are, I would say, if you are a little technically challenged, reach out to eNotary Log and have them do a demo with you. So that, or any platform, reach out to them, have them do a demo with you. And so that you can get an idea of how the platform works. If they don't have a testing type of thing. Notarize has a testing. One Notary has testing. Blue Notary has testing. So, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Reggie.
I want to say to the user that's from Albuquerque, we can't see your name, but welcome to the live.
They must be from Bergeau's thing.
Oh, more than likely they're from your group.
I forgot his name. I know. I think I know who that is.
So, shout out to everybody that I tagged that I kind of volunteered to ask questions just because they've individually reached out to me and had individual questions. Shout out to Jade. Shout out to, damn it, now I'm trying to remember their names. Jade.
Just read the question.
Okay. Just read the question they're telling me, so I'm gonna do what they asked. So pricing your services. One of the questions is how do you price your services? So we kind of alluded to that earlier. The calculator is really your best friend. Each customer is different. They're not, the idea of it is to have one set price, but that's not realistic to do because each person is different. Okay. Some of the things that you want to take into consideration. Number one, make sure you get the calculator from yanalugo.com. Go there because that does the legwork. Number two, if you're not in the state of Florida, wherever you happen to be, make sure you know what your state minimums are or maximums to charge.
Come on, Reggie. Come on, so, Reggie.
I try. Sometimes I do that.
Reggie.
Sometimes I know that. So here in the state of Florida, it's $10 to do a simple acknowledgement or jurat. It's $30 to solemnize a marriage. What you're doing in that solemnization is actually reading them the Declaration of Intent. Okay, so there's a $30 stamp for that. So they're not priced the same. Now, in any event, in any case, you can charge them $0 if you want to. Why would you do that if you're a business? But that's your business, as Tabitha said. Okay, that's your business.
And
but 25 what your minimums are.
25 for a Ron.
25 for Ron. Yes, online notarization is $25 minimum. Now,
maximum.
Sorry, I keep saying minimum.
In Florida.
In Florida.
Yes, in Florida. We're speaking from Florida. Thanks, guys.
But you did say that already.
Okay.
So, knowing that, You also want to take in consideration of your time and your expertise. I know a lot of us before we were doing $10 per notarization plus mileage, but you also should get paid for your time and your expertise. You be the judge on what you want to make per hour. We, for the most part, and I don't want to out nobody, but for the most part, use what our hourly rate at our jobs are, and we use that as an example. You can double it, triple it, but it's on you depending on the level of experience you're going to give the customer.
The calculator actually has a link. Yeah, the calculator actually has a link to the Department of Labor, where you can look up the average by your state. Also, leverage Google. Type into Google, what is the average hourly rate for a notary? And I'm sure something will come up. So
I say that to say, you know your worth. These aren't charges that are like, for example, your notarization charge, that has to be $10 if you're charging someone. It cannot be more. When it comes to what your hourly is, that is solely based on you and your experience that you're going to give a customer. Now, you might price some customers out if you're talking about $100 per hour for a notarization. That might be too much, but hey, get it how you live is how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But those are some of the things that you want to put in your perspective. And then all else fail and you ain't got time for all that, go on get that calculator. Now, mileage is important too. You want to make sure you charge or consider the idea of round trip. Okay. So if they're 10 miles out, you also got to charge them 10 miles back in. That's 20 miles. Multiply that by 0.655 is the mileage that the IRS allows you to write off or charge. And, you know, that charges for mileage. You need to set the expectation to the client before you agree to do anything that mileage is included, as well as any of the other pricing that is not on there. Some people like to itemize. Virgil was one of those people that like to itemize. Myself and Ayana don't, but we do know how we got to that point, which is why we use that calculator. Okay.
Hey, girl. Hey, Stephanie.
Somebody asked the best place for creating a network of clients. I think we kind of already talked about it. Google. I use Thumbtack. I use Wedding Wire, The Knot, because I am a wedding officiant. So, you know, being in different spaces allows me to have more of a broader platform. Now, a lot of those actually do have a pay-for-play price. So you have to make sure that you consider that when you are taking on your customers and what you're charging. Offload that to, you know, that platform fee that you're going to pay for eNotary on call to the customer. Okay? Because you are going to pay to use their platform. Right?
eNotary log.
eNotary log. Sorry, not eNotary on call. That's a different one. That's different. Don't even go to that one. Different. I'm a very
Wait, let's answer this question because somebody said, read that one, Reggie.
Okay. What about marriage in Florida? Do they bring the application to marry them? In most instances, yes. Well, not most instances. All instances, yes. They should. Long story short, that didn't happen to a recent wedding. Their marriage date was not the day that we did the ceremony. It was 3 days later. So you want to make sure you have that conversation. You know, part of my package is marriage license assistance. That is as broad as it can possibly be. But I'm gonna tell you where to go, how to get it, and I'm a request that you text me and let me know that you got it. I'm gonna give you the time frame.
License and application is the same thing because that paper that they give you when you apply is the one you take to the notary.
Yes.
Or the
I'm gonna give you the max amount of time that you can do before. You can do a maximum of 60 days out. But I also have the conversation and I tell the customer, hey, you have to file for that license by February 2nd if you want to get married on the 6th. Okay. Again, that's a part of marriage license assistance that I give. And long story short, that just ensures that you don't have that awkward conversation at the end talking about what a marriage license is, and they looking at you and you looking at them and you like, I guess you're gonna have to celebrate another day because today is not gonna be it. Nice ceremony. That's so.
So Tiara said in her state, we're only allowed to use 7 platforms: DocVerify, Signex, eNotaryLog, Amrock, Simply File, Notarize, and it should be Pivaso. Which one would you advise as a brand new notary to begin with? I think that some of these are platforms that title companies send their documents through, like DocVerify, Signex, Amrock. That's an actual company. So they may have their own platform. Simplify, I've never heard of that one. Notarize is great for beginners. And Pivaso, me and Bergeau signed up for that, but that was, yeah. So I think only title will send their documents through there. So some of those you have to have a relationship with a title company, and then they'll send their documents through those platforms. So out of the ones
you added on there by them.
Right. Some of them. Yeah. Out of those, eNotaryLog, you can sign up as an independent notary and it costs you nothing. It doesn't, you don't pay until you bring a client there. And then Notarize, you can sign up. It's free to sign up there too. You do not have to pay. And then you can sit in the queue for customers there, or you can do independent title companies using that platform, or your clients using that platform. So I would just say, DocVerify, I think you can also use bring your own customers. But if I'm not mistaken, DocVerify is not that cost effective. So I think it's it's expensive, right?
Tiara, what state are you in? What state?
She must be in Bergeau's group. I think she is in Bergeau's group. Tiara.
Oh yeah, Tiara. Welcome. You just joined not too long ago. Welcome, Tiara.
Yeah. So I would say I'm always big on don't spend money that you haven't made yet. So sign up with the free. Oh, Arkansas. Yeah. So if you already have customers beating down your door, then you can go ahead and pay for DocVerify, but I personally don't sign up for anything that I cannot pay for. So if I don't have no money coming in, I ain't paying for it.
So the list of the ones that you mentioned, Tiara, I would probably pick eNotaryLog out of all of those.
Or Notarize, because you can catch a call on some people do catch calls on Notarize. People do it, and I know they only pay $5, but it's good for people who need to practice and to
don't waste your time going to eNotary.
Shut up, Reggie.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
Oh,
what happened?
There we go.
Don't do it to yourself. I'm trying to tell you.
No, you be quiet. See, if you are trying to gain experience, I say leverage whatever you can. That's why you don't know how to do no Ron, because you don't be practicing.
It ain't because of Notarize. It definitely ain't because of Notarize. I can tell you.
This is what happens on the phone all day between us three. Like we always
get a call on Notarize.
That's why you ain't get no Ron, because you don't be practicing.
Boo!
Tell him
right.
You don't practice.
No, you're right. You got to go on there and do like we did. Do the test notarization.
He always be trying to do some junk on the fly on the phone, talking about. So, what I'm supposed to do? Do I click this button right here?
But the thing is the check clears. The check clears. That's all that matters. No, and the last
don't do like Reggie. Don't wait until you got it to try to figure out how to do it. Okay, try to.
First of all, I'm just playing.
Practice and do it before.
Stephanie, it's
not that one. The other one. The other one. CTAP. Do that one.
Oh, right here. On the platform you use, are you using the enterprise custom? No, there is an independent notary option. Bergeau, she the only one know how to find that link, because I can never find
enterprise custom pricing plan is for if you have a business with other notaries. So all of you guys are under one plan as opposed to you all having separate accounts. That's what the enterprise pricing is. So like, for example, if me, Ayana, and Reggie wanted to go in together, we would be able to go in there and say somebody called me for a notarization. I couldn't do it. I could ask one of them, will you be available? And I can assign them to that person. That's how the enterprise works. So you're not looking for that. You're just looking for an independent.
Let me find
the link.
Yeah.
Yes, Stephanie, it does not cost anything to do Ron. I mean, you know, to apply with the state, but exactly like if you were a notary signing service, but you're not, I mean, unless you are, but if you're not, you just have the independent plan, you only pay per transaction.
I don't know
if you complete, let's just, huh?
So
let's just say you go on there, you do a notary, but you don't complete it. You have to cancel it. You don't get charged for that. You only get charged for completed transactions.
Right.
And they bill you at the end of the month. You're not even paying up front.
Shout out to Jade, Jamilette, Michelle, and yeah, that's it. So shout out to you, those guys, for answering the question. And
no, Stephanie, it does not cost you anything to get on the platform.
Nope. I can't find the link, Bergeau. You have to find it.
Oh, and it's then somebody asked to get on the platform. You just pay when you do your customer, Stephanie. I'm sorry, Reggie.
Somebody also asked, the last question they asked is how to create real estate clients. That basically you go to the title companies either by cold calling, or actually going to a local title company in your area. You know, doing that if you have the time to be able to do so, and you just nurture that relationship. But a lot of times, well, at least in the Orlando area, a lot of them have their preferred notaries that they use, or they use signing services. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt for you to go out and, you know, get the experience, but, you know, you might be spinning your wheels just a tad, depending on how they may have it set up. So, but that's all. Thank you guys for those questions.
Go to the office because they're going to be in work mode. Visit them at a networking event where they're outside their element and they're being themselves. Learn about them, build a relationship, and they will want to meet with you outside of the networking event to see how you guys can support each other's business. Why do I say that? Because that actually happened to me. I have went to networking events, met real estate people, and they have asked to meet me outside of the event. So
I can't find the link. If Bergeau is in, if CTAP is in, if you're in the group with Bergeau, we'll have Bergeau posted in her group because she knows how to find that link. She sent it to me. If you find the Bergeau, you can post it online.
For the independent?
Yeah, I can't find
it. For independent notary, right?
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Kenny. He says he's finally able to make a live with us. Hey, welcome.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
Yeah, no, Stephanie, it doesn't cost a lot to actually get on the platform. It costs you nothing. It's free. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the group. How do I join the group? Bergeau, how did she join the group?
Is she frozen?
Oh. Be Elise Notary Support 2 is the group.
I'll put it in here. Be Elise Notary Support 2 group on Facebook. It's on Facebook. Be Elise Support Notary 2 on Facebook. And you can also go to the Central Florida Notary group. That's Reggie's group.
Yes.
Because if she posted in there, Reggie can post it in his.
Yes.
Am I still doing meetups? Nope. Nope. And I'll tell you why, Mr. Kenny. The reason why I'm not doing meetups is because I am focusing on tasks and efforts that have a return on investment. While I do think that I can impart a lot of good information to notaries that are just starting out, you can catch me on YouTube for that. It costs you nothing. If I organize an event out in the field, it takes me time. Sometimes it costs me money in order to do that. And then 2 people show up and it's like not worth it. So no, I will not be spending my time organizing meetups. There's just no value in it in it. And I'm not one of those people that find value in charging people money in order to come to the meetup. So, you got people that are out here charging $30, $40, $50, $10, $20, $25 in order to come to a meetup and hear the same exact information that you can hear for free on YouTube. And you are paying me back for my time by watching the video and interacting with the video. So interacting and leaving comments. I answer all of my comments on my YouTube channel because it's not so big that I can't. And that's where we are going with that in 2023. So in 2023, Yana won't be doing any meetups. I may show up to a couple of meetups here and there, but I'm not hosting any.
And I'll say this.
You should, Stephanie. You should. No, she said she's going to look into it. You should.
And I will say this too. You really want to be leery of people who, want to have a price tag to the knowledge that they have. But there are a lot of us out there that, the information is out there. It is a vast knowledge of info on Google, YouTube, and all that other stuff. And there are some people, because it's slow in other areas, are looking for other ways to pivot and diversify their portfolio of money. But that shouldn't come at the expense of, other notaries who may just be naive to the process, which is why we do things like this, because it allows us to be able to serve our community and serve others who are just like us to do the things that, that we do. By no means, by any shape or form, right, with the exception of Ayana on the other side, who is a celebrity.
Celebrity.
We are, again, like I said, your everyday people.
I'm a regular people too.
2.3 million subscribers. I'm just playing.
Million?
I'm being silly.
Shoot, I have me a YouTube plaque. That's right on there.
But at the end of the day, we're your everyday man. We're your everyday people who are just interested in just, having a better life. And, sometimes, unfortunately, when it comes to working for corporations and things of that nature, they're very, as they should be, specific to making sure you do the best for their company. This is your baby, your bag, and whatever you put into it is what you get out of it.
He said, I sure am. You're so kind, Kenny Butler. He said I'm a celebrity. And I would say there is no shade to people who do actually charge for these things, because I do agree that sometimes people just don't show up for the free. Hey, sometimes they don't show up and they done paid. And I feel like these people that are putting on these massive events should be paid for their time. I definitely feel like I should be paid for my time. If you're going, if I'm coaching you, I should be paid for my time, because my time is valuable. So, Reggie, somebody's asking you, do you have a chart somewhere on how you price the weddings? Dude, Notary Calculator.
Notary Calculator. I do have a website that has www.eternalunionsweddings.com, where you can go in and people want to see, and there's visuals behind that, and there are pricing. But for the most part, every customer, again, as I said in the very beginning, is different, which is why you want to use the Notary Calculator, So you just kind of have to figure out, a pricing that you're willing to do the work that is required at this price, the least that you would be willing to take, because there are options. People are going to fight to get the best rate, and that has nothing to do with you as a person. And that doesn't mean that, and I have to tell myself, I'm talking to myself right now, that doesn't mean that you aren't doing the work and doing the things that it takes to be the best you. People are just going to go and get the best price. The only thing you can do is sell yourself, as we said in also in this live, the best way you can, and put it all out there on the table to where they can't say no. And if they do, it don't break you. You just go to the next one.
There's somebody for everybody. Tiara says, thank you for what we're doing. You're welcome. All right, let's see. I've been doing really good at weddings, but not notary. Hey, welcome. A day with Diva. So you good if you're good at notary weddings, let me tell you something. It's called stay in your lane. It's called stay in your lane. If you are killing one thing, stay in your lane. Stay in there. When I discovered that the Rons have just been my thing, what I do? Stay in my lane. Sure do. Sure do. Stay in my lane.
And it's okay to have those other things, you know, as backup or whatever. You can do it all. But like she said, you know, focus on what is working the best for you and do it to it.
Do it moving. All right, I'm going to share the notary calculator because we got 1 minute left. Because so I am going to share the notary calculator. This is what the notary calculator looks like. As you can see, when you download the notary calculator from my website after you have purchased it, you're going to get a PDF document. When you click the link to the Google Sheet file, it's going to ask you to create a copy. It's asking you to create a copy because if you don't, you will be changing the master file. So you have to create a copy. Once you create that copy is yours. It's not yours to share, it's yours to use. Also, do not share this with your clients. This is strictly for you as the directions state. So on the first page, you got some quick description of what some of the terminology means. On the bottom, you click the tabs and you have the mobile tab. And as you can see, for the state of Florida, our maximum is $10. If you are in another state, New Mexico, Arkansas, wherever you are, you're going to change this number to fit what your state max is for a stamp for mobile notary, right? This is a federal number, so that number can stay the same. The hourly rate will be what you want it to be. All right. So for me, it's $20 on this tab. I don't hardly use the tab no more, but $20 on that tab. My witness fee is $25 if I'm bringing a witness. Additional signer is 10, print and scan is 5. As you can see, oh, Jesus Christ. You can put addresses in there and it'll give you the mileage over here. And then you will enter in the number of stamps you're doing, the number of witnesses. So if you need 2 witnesses, you put them there. How many signers, the travel fee, you're going to enter the number of miles here. This number here automatically makes that number a round trip. So this is automatically a round trip number. And then you're also going to calculate the travel time. So you get the travel time here. So if you're traveling 10 miles, it may take you 20 minutes, 10 minutes, a mile a minute, depending on traffic. This number here is also round trip. Okay. This number is round trip, and this number is based on your hourly rate number. And so if you can see here, your total travel is $19.77. Those are your travel fees. And then your time goes here. So if I'm doing mobile, very rarely do I bump this past 30. You can even do it for 15 minutes, but I put it there. And then if they're printing and scanning, you add it there. On the online tab, I guess my hourly rate is $20 everywhere. My maximum stamp, again, in Florida is 25, and then you fill everything out the same way. So as you can see, I've made notes on mine. Don't be looking at that. Oops. On the weddings, you can also do weddings. You can put your mileage in. You can put in your stamp, your time, and all that stuff. We were playing around with this for Bergeau's website. So that's why it looks like astronomical. Elopements, I made a note there. My elopements are 110. So I made a note there. And then you have apostilles. And then there's way more that goes into an apostille. You got notary stamps. You might have mileage. You might have hourly rate. You might have a witness fee. You do have a state fee. So there is I think it's $10. I think I recopied this. But the state fee in the state of Florida is $10. The courier fee that we use is $75. And then additional documents, I have 25 there. But you can adjust anything in green. You can adjust. Anything in white is not adjustable, or the brown is not adjustable. But anything in green, you can do yourself. And You get there by going to ayanalugo.com. You drop me your email. You hit the digital store, and boom, there it is. The first one, Notary Calculator. It's $20. That is it. That is it. That's how you do it. So that's all we got for today. I just shared it. I hope you got it, Tiara.
Tiara.
It says, do you price Ron's differently than mobile signings? So yes, I use the calculator for everything. Absolutely everything. I use it for everything.
Yes.
So
yes.
Thank you. You're welcome. You really appreciate our time. You're welcome. We just shared the website, ayanalugo.com. Apple Pay wouldn't work for me yesterday. I don't know what that means. FYI, Apple Pay wouldn't work for me yesterday. I don't know.
Tried to pay using Apple Pay and it didn't work.
Oh, that's why we don't use Apple Pay. We're going to talk about that on another one. That's going to be the next one. We're going to let Bergeau run that one.
No, I think she tried to use Apple Pay to pay for your calculator, I think.
I don't think, does it take Apple Pay?
Yeah, it says it does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
Lois, she don't even know because she just doing so well.
Oh, I don't know why it wouldn't work. Maybe it was a website thing. I would try to do it again. GoDaddy sometimes is a little glitchy, which is why I might be moving away from GoDaddy this year. But GoDaddy's a little glitchy, so I would try to do it again today.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, my information is on there somewhere. Send me a message. Send me an email or something. Is it on here? It's got to be on here. Yeah, you can send me an email. Maybe not. Send me a DM on Facebook. If you can't get it, I'll make sure that you get it. I don't know why it didn't work though. I would say try it again. All right, guys, we are out of here. Bergeau looks like she about to fall asleep. You can't find what?
No, I was trying to find the link on there.
Oh, you can't find it either?
I don't see it.
Maybe they took it down.
So I don't know if they took it. I don't know if they took it off. Maybe they have too many notaries. I don't know. It is there.
Ooh. Yeah,
And
because
if they've changed their pricing structure, it has not affected us because we've been using it for some time. So maybe those changes will affect new people, but we're already using it. So I'm sorry, guys. Your best bet would be to contact them.
Oh, shout out Anna.
They have an email right there. info@enotarylog.com. Maybe contact them.
Congratulations, Jen.
Congratulations, Jen. Oh, go. What you say, Bergeau? You keep freezing.
I forgot.
You freezing again. That's why we keep talking, because you keep stopping.
It's okay.
You just purchased a bond and seal for Ron. FYI, you can create your seal on Canva for the free $99.
Yeah.
I do have a template too in my store for like $2.
99 cents.
99 cents. $1.99. What is it? If it's not, it's $1.99. I'm about to make that's like a 99 cents. But yeah.
But thank you to everybody who came and had things to say. We enjoy doing this. This invigorates us to continue to give you guys more content. You can find us all on social media. Myself is Central Florida Notary, and Bergeau, what's yours?
She frozen. Find me at the Crafty Notary.
Billy's Notary Support too.
Go. We listening. She said,
my group Billy's Notary Support 2, which I don't know how much longer it's going to be up because I just don't get a lot of engagement in there like I do my membership group. In order for you to join the membership group, you have to either complete my general notary course or subscribe, which is $10 per month. So that's the notary education group. Do not request to get access. It is a paid membership. But you could also follow me on my business page, Bailey's Notary Services, LLC. And if you are interested in the membership, you can go to www.thenotaryeducationgrp.com. I will be capping the membership at 50 people. So once I hit 50 people, I will not be accepting anyone else because that already is a lot of people for me to dedicate my energy to.
What's the website? www.
Oh, let me type it in here.
Okay, yeah, type it in. All right. Good night, Stephanie. And you can find me at The Crafty Notary for anything that is notary related. For notary to notary, you can find me at ayanalugo.com. I do coaching. I have resources there. I have free stuff there. Check out my website. It's ayanalugo.com. Everything else, my Facebook group is going away. Okay, I don't go in there anymore. It's going to go away. But you can find me in Bergeau's group. You can find me in Reggie's group. So I'm there, and you can find us on YouTube not next Thursday, the following Thursday, February 2nd. Be here at 7:30. We'll be back. Until then, we will see you guys. Peace.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.